Hello and welcome back to the Todoist channel. My name is Naomi and in today's video we're going to talk about deep work. If you don't know about deep work already, it is a term that was coined by Cal Newport, who is a renowned author and computer science professor at Georgetown University. If you're tired of feeling busy but not productive, then this video is for you. Let's just be honest, bouncing between your email inbox, pointless meetings, and a whole host of group chat notifications is no way to get ahead. These are markers of busyness, not productivity, and they're not going to help you deepen your skills or increase your impact at work. Instead, succumbing to these attention traps is more than likely going to lead you straight down the road to mediocrity. To be truly exceptional at the work you do and to gain recognition for it, you need to adopt an entirely different strategy, and that is deep work. And nobody can say it better than the man himself, so this is how Cal Newport defines deep work. Professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. Now, this isn't likely the form of work that naturally fills your day. On the contrary, you may find that if you're not intentional with your time, your work often defaults towards what Cal Newport refers to as shallow work. Non-cognitively demanding, logistical-style tasks often performed while distracted. These efforts tend to not create new value in the world and are easy to replicate. If you're watching this and you're starting to realise that your work days are mostly filled with shallow work, then don't worry, that's what this video is for. We're going to help you find ways to switch it up, incorporate more deep work into your day, and then hopefully see the results of that resonate throughout your career. So why does deep work even matter? Well, once again, Cal Newport says this best. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at the exact same time it is becoming increasingly valuable in our economy. As a consequence, the few who cultivate this skill and then make it into the core of their working life will thrive. Imagine being one of the few people who can cultivate this skill. You're going to stand out in a world full of distractions. Many of us have been so distracted by the trappings of modern work that we've completely forgotten how to single task, or we never learnt it in the first place. So how do you do it? First, we're going to cover the 4 different styles of deep work that you can choose from. And then after that, we'll get into more concrete steps about how you can actually incorporate this into your working day. Number 1 is the monastic philosophy. This approach involves drastically eliminating or reducing the shallow work and obligations and distractions in your life so that you can focus exclusively on deep work. Think of it as going to a secluded place to only focus on this one thing. Not super realistic for most of us, but for a lucky few, this may be a good approach to take. Number 2 is the bimodal philosophy. This approach asks you to divide your time between deep work tasks and shallow tasks, often with days. So you could have certain days of the week where you focus only on deep work tasks, and then other days that are reserved for more shallow administrative types of tasks. Number 3 is the rhythmic philosophy. This involves setting aside time each day for deep work tasks. Now, this can be particularly good because by having the same time each day, you create a rhythm in which your brain starts to get used to getting into deep focus at that time. Number 4 is the journalistic approach. This is the most flexible way to fit deep work into your schedule and is perfect for people who have unpredictable schedules because you basically fit in deep work as and when you can. Choose a philosophy that best fits your lifestyle and work. And then here are some practical tips to help you actually implement deep work. First up is location. Try to choose a space that is going to be as distraction-free as possible and conducive to long periods of focus. Noise-cancelling headphones are also a good alternative and they help notify your brain that it's time to focus. Try to be consistent with your environment if possible because this is going to help you gain familiarity with the rhythm and the routine of getting into deep work. Next up is duration. Allocate specific time blocks for the time in which you want to do deep work. Do not do any shallow work in this time, even if you're tempted. Something I find quite helpful is having a notepad next to me, and if I could think of any shallow work tasks come into my head that I know are going to deviate me, I just jot them down. I call it my later list, and it's things that I will tend to later. Also, what can be quite helpful is setting a timer. You can use either a digital one, or if you're like me, you can use a physical one, and this can help keep you focused and on task. Bonus points if you time block your entire day, which you can now do in Todoist. We've added a new calendar feature that allows you to visualize your time as well as your tasks. I am legitimately obsessed with this feature. It pretty much runs my life now. So if you're interested in having a look at it, I will leave the details for it in the description box below. Next up is structure. It's important to define what deep work looks like to you. Are you going to allow yourself to get snacks or have little mini breaks? Will you be using the internet? Are you going to have your phone on you, or is it going to be in a different room? Will you light a candle? Are you going to use noise cancelling headphones? What is going to help you cultivate that feeling of focus? Another important element of this structure piece is to define what success for this deep work session looks like. Are you going to measure the pages you've read, the lines you've coded, the words you've written, or some other measurement of success that makes sense to you and your work? This one overlaps very slightly with the last one. What are your requirements? What do you need? And this is very personal. What do you need to get yourself into a deep focused mode? For me, I have a very specific routine. I have a candle that I light. It's actually one of these. I light one of these, but I have it on my desk. And I will put my headphones on, and I have a very specific playlist. It's called Relaxed Focus. I'll link it in the description box for anybody that's interested randomly. But when I listen to that specific playlist, I am then in focus mode. It really helps me slide into that way of thinking a lot quicker. For some people, it might be a coffee or a snack or anything that's going to help you set up your environment to support you in your deep focus mode. And here are a few more tips to get you started. Eliminate distractions. This one is one that I think is very easy to go, yeah, I know, but actually eliminate them. Put your phone in a different room. I put my phone on airplane mode and put it behind me. Turn off your notifications, close any unnecessary tabs. Let people around you know that you're going to be doing deep work so as not to disturb you. Distraction is so insidious in the online world, and it's quite easy to forget that these things can pull our focus away. So be purposeful in eliminating your distractions. This one might seem quite obvious, but know what you're working on. What do you consider to be deep work in the first place? Personally, I use Todoist for this. I have a label that is literally a label called deep work, and anything that I know is going to require a lot of focus that comes into my inbox when I'm sorting it, I assign the label deep work, and then I know I have to carve time for that task. I can't just lump it in with everything else that I need to do. I find this super helpful, and you could even create another label called shallow work. And then on days when you have lower energy or you just want to bust through all of those smaller tasks, then you can open up that label and you know exactly what you need to do. Another tip is to take breaks. Trust me when I say deep work is wonderful and you feel such a sense of achievement whenever you get into the rhythm of incorporating it into your day. But it is exhausting and you're going to need a little bit of time to rest and recover after you've had some deep work sessions. So I would suggest going for a walk, getting some fresh air, doing anything you can do to just try and recharge your brain. Maybe also don't try and be over optimistic and schedule too much deep work into your time. You do need time to rest and recover. And the last tip is to reflect and adjust. Once you've done a few focus sessions, you're going to figure out what actually works to help you get into deep work and what doesn't. And then you can just adjust your schedule, your timing, your setup, your environment, adjust all of these things in order to get the best out of yourself when you're focusing. Some of you may have been watching this thinking, well, that all sounds wonderful, but how on earth am I going to get my boss on board with deep work? Here's how. The problem is that the modern workplace is super biased towards shallow work. Busyness is often perceived as a sign of getting things done rather than its direct opponent. However, all hope is not lost. Many bosses simply just aren't aware of the struggle that their employees face. You can explain the concept of deep work versus shallow work to your boss and use specific examples from your typical workday. And now this is the important part. Ask this question. How much of my time should I be spending on shallow work? This does two things. It acknowledges the fact that shallow work is a part of your job and you're going to have to get all of those tasks done, but it also helps you carve out a set amount of time for deep work with the support of your manager. Then you can structure your time in the knowledge that your boss is supporting you, unchaining yourself from your inbox so that you can carve time to provide deep value to the company. So there you have it. Cultivate the ability to focus deeply and you'll be one of the increasingly few people to produce high quality work that sets you apart. This video was based on a super in-depth article that we have on deep work. I will leave the link in the description box below if you want to dive any deeper into it. And now on to that giveaway. We would love you to chime in the comments below with if you feel like you want to give deep work a go, or if you have any other tips for deep work that you think would help the other people watching this video. I'm going to eagerly see you in those comments to try and harvest as many tips as I can. And one commenter who is also subscribed to the channel is going to win a year of Todoist Pro for free. Now, if you find this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up, maybe even consider subscribing. It means so much to our entire team when you do. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye! It was a coin? It wasn't a coin. It was a phrase. Deep work is a coin. No, I keep saying that. You thought this was going to be quick. Of all of the philosophies.